The story begins in the idyllic countryside of Bulgaria, a nation renowned for its lush forests, soaring mountains, and the gentle hum of village life that seems immune to the rush of the modern world. Yet, beneath this veneer of tranquility, lie tales that grip the heart with unease, mysteries that send shivers down the spine long after the sun sets behind the Balkan peaks. Among these stories, there is one that continues to haunt not only the families left behind, but also investigators and locals alike. A disappearance, chilling in its circumstances and confounding in its details. It was the summer of 2016, a season filled with the scent of wildflowers and the hum of bees. Tourists filled the rugged trails of the Rhodope Mountains, drawn by legends of Orpheus, the melodic grandeur of nature, and the welcoming embrace of remote Bulgarian villages. It was during this time that Lars Mittank, a 28-year-old German tourist, arrived. Seeking a modest escape with friends, he expected nothing more than a regular holiday. A chance to unwind, to soak in the sun, and to let the worries of work dissolve in the dance of Balkan evenings. But as summer days carry on, sometimes the unexpected finds us at our most vulnerable. Lars's week in Bulgaria was, by all accounts, largely uneventful at first. He and his friends enjoyed the carefree delights of Golden Sands, a resort on the Black Sea coast, famous for its bustling beaches and vibrant nightlife. Yet, as the holiday drew to a close, an incident unfolded, one that seemed minor at a glance, but would prove to be the genesis of an enduring enigma. Lars became involved in a quarrel at a local bar. Reports vary on how severe this confrontation was, but one detail stands undisputed. He suffered a sinus ear injury. A ruptured eardrum, doctors said, nothing life-threatening, but enough for them to recommend he delay flying home. While his friends departed as planned, Lars was left behind, alone in a foreign country, with instructions to rest and recover. Few could have predicted how swiftly the fabric of normality would unspool. Lars's behavior began to oscillate between anxiety and outright paranoia. He called his mother, whispering to her that he felt unsafe, that people were following him, that someone wanted to harm him. The lines between reality and fear started to blur, as if the very air around him had grown thick with menace. On the morning of July 8th, Lars checked out of his hotel and made his way to Varna Airport. Surveillance footage shows him entering the terminal, a young man weighed down by visible tension, clutching a small bag, pausing frequently to look over his shoulder. He made an appointment at the airport medical office, hoping perhaps for reassurance, for confirmation that he was safe to board his flight and return to the familiar embrace of home. But what happened next remains one of the most unsettling moments ever captured on security cameras. In the midst of his medical consultation, something, no one knows what, seemed to terrify Lars beyond reason. Without warning, he leapt to his feet and darted from the room. Cameras followed his frantic sprint through the terminal, out the doors, and across the airport parking lot. He abandoned his luggage, passport, and credit cards behind. Witnesses would later recall the look in his eyes. Utter, unbridled fear. Lars climbed a fence bordering the airport and disappeared into a dense field of scrub and woodland. A single, heart-stopping image shows him running into the unknown, swallowed by the grass, never to be seen again. In the immediate aftermath, search parties scoured the area. Drones buzzed high overhead, dogs sniffed along forest trails, Officers knocked on doors in remote hamlets, asking if anyone had seen a tall, blonde foreigner wandering the countryside. Interpol issued a missing person notice. His mother pleaded on television and social media, desperate for any clue, any hope, but the forests yielded no trace. Not a shoe, not a scrap of clothing, not a whisper of what happened in those final moments. Speculation ran wild. Some believed Lars suffered an acute psychological breakdown, a hallucinatory episode triggered by the stress, pain, or even medication he was taking for his ear injury. Others suggested more sinister possibilities. Perhaps he witnessed something he was not meant to see. Perhaps he was followed after all. Tales grew in the telling. Stories of trafficking, secret organizations, or shadowy figures lurking in the periphery. Yet none of these theories could be substantiated. The only certainty was the absence he left behind. An echo in the air, a photograph on a poster, a mother's anguished plea for answers that never came. The disappearance of Lars Mittank in Bulgaria is more than a simple case of a lost traveler. It is a story that highlights the depths of the unknown and the way fear can transform the familiar into the uncanny. These Balkan fields, so often the source of legends and lullabies, became the backdrop for a modern mystery, one that defies easy explanation. His case underscores the fragility of our safety nets when we are far from home. The support of friends gone. The comfort of understanding faces replaced by a swirl of foreign words. Even the familiar becomes strange, and for Lars, perhaps even menacing. Did his sense of being watched have roots in reality, or did the cracked window of his mind let in shadows that could not be chased away? No one knows. Over the years, rumors have flared, hikers claiming to see him in distant villages, tips that led nowhere, sightings that proved to be false hope. The forest keeps her secrets, and time passes, each year eroding the likelihood of answers. But the chilling core of this disappearance lies not only in its enduring mystery, but in its universality. To find oneself lost in a foreign land, in the liminal space between reason and fear, is a primal terror. Lars's story reminds us all that beneath the surface of the everyday, the extraordinary can unfold in a moment. A twist of fate, a leap into darkness, the vast unknown yawning just beyond the horizon. And so, the forests of Bulgaria stand silent, the wind murmuring through the grass where Lars vanished, their secrets cloaked in dusk. For those left behind, hope is all that remains, a hope that someday the chilling silence will be broken and the story will find its end. Until then, the disappearance of Lars Mittank endures as one of Bulgaria's most haunting riddles, a mystery that challenges reason and lingers in the collective imagination. Thank you for staying with us till the end. If this story touched you, please consider subscribing and sharing. It helps us keep telling the stories that matter.